Hey, Luke, have you seen enough in these preseason games to kind of get a pretty good idea what the rotation's going to be, or do you feel like that's going to be an ongoing process?
I think it's gonna be ongoing. We've gotten a pretty good feel for a second unit group, but we gotta figure something out with the starting group still. So until we get that under control, then those lineups are probably going to change, just because we can't afford to go down. At the by the 6 minute timeout each time we step on the floor. So I think we have a good evaluation of the players and who plays well together, but it'll be an ongoing process.
What can you do with these practices heading into that opener to try to crystallize some of that stuff and get Dang and Mozgov and those guys back involved?
We'll do a good amount of scrimmaging tomorrow. Let them run it out. It's always good to scrimmage. You just get a feel for playing with each other. We haven't been able to do enough of this training camp just because of all the stuff that's needed to be put in. But we'll get some good amount of scrimmaging tomorrow, and then we'll just we'll watch film obviously in the morning, and then Monday, Tuesday will be more of teaching and sharpening up the timing of plays and things like that.
How would you summarize the month or so that you've been together with this group now?
I just told him I'm very pleased and happy with the way the preseason and training camp went. We got great effort from pretty much everyone on the team. I feel like we're starting to play better. We're starting to understand concepts and understand what to look for in the plays, and we're playing we're playing at a faster pace for longer periods of time, which I think we need to do. So I thought it was a successful preseason.
How does the process of finalizing the roster go tonight, if that is the case? You just talk to Mitch, or they take care of it?
I'll talk to my staff, get some of their opinions, and then I'll talk to Mitch and Glenn, and then we'll probably talk to Jimmy, and then we'll give our opinions and make a decision from that.
You have an idea right now, or you want to go over some stuff?
No, I got to go over stuff. And we got to practice again tomorrow, and we got film to watch on tonight's game. So you never make those calls right after games. You kind of remove yourself first before you do that.
Luke, how is Brandon, Julius, and D'Angelo at their ages? How are they different from you at those ages, 19, 20?
They're doing much better than I was. I'm serious. When I was 19, it made me going into my sophomore year of college. Finally moving out of the dorms. I'm just trying to sign up for classes. That's all I had to really worry about. These guys have a lot on their plate. So I think people do, and I make a point not to, because it's important to remember what most of us were doing when we were 19. And they're not just doing it in the NBA, they're doing it in Los Angeles, which even adds more pressure and more distractions. So I think they're doing a fine job with that.
You said in pregame that it certainly was a challenge to go back to being an assistant after being a head coach. Why? What made it such a challenge?
No, the challenge was being a head coach, knowing that I was going to be an assistant, because then you can't. There's relationships you have as an assistant that when you're a head, you don't have those relationships. But if you can't also burn any of those, knowing that when you get back, your job is going to be completely different again. So it just made it a little more challenging to juggle the two.
Out of all the areas you've been working on in the preseason, where do you see the best improvement? Where are you most happy with?
It changes, honestly. It's sometimes I'm thrilled with our defense. Other times it's the way we're pushing the ball and moving, and then our defense is awful. So it constantly changes as the games go. They're doing a really good job in practice, at least, of giving effort and doing it. So that leads me to believe that at some point that will start carrying over into the games, just with more and more reps and time on all that stuff. But it changes game to game.
So far, what have you seen in the veterans with mentoring the young guys?
They've been good. We don't have a lot of veterans that are going to get in your face and and demand something out of the young guys, but we have veterans that will put their arm around you and talk to the young guys and give them advice about what they see and what's going on, whether it's practice. And we got veterans that lead by example, and they're, Luol was the first in the gym the other morning when I got there, and he had already had a full sweat and a workout in. I think when young guys see that, then it helps their development as well.
When you look at teams like, you played the Suns, you played the Kings twice, you played the Nuggets. These are teams that are in the conference that weren't in the playoffs last year, teams that you would have to jump over. Do you look at it as, is that how you're matching up, looking at how your team is doing to see how high you can get up in the standings?
No, I'm looking at it just from an individual standpoint of how I feel we played. I'm not looking at, are we going to jump them, or are we going to jump them? Just straight, did we win, lose or draw? I mean, I guess you can't really draw in the NBA, but just more of how we did. Did we execute game plan? Did we do our defensive rotations? And if we lose, then I'm fine with that. And vice versa, if we win a game where we didn't do anything, we just happen to get hot, I'm not as happy about that.
You're not going to be a coach who's watching the standings this year. It's not really.
Well, I'm not going to lie and say I won't look at the standings, but I'm not going to be judging our success on where those standings are.
Luke, before the game today, Earl was telling us that he hosted you and your visit to UCLA. Do you remember this visit?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't remember anything from back then. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, he was saying University.
Marcelo and his performance.
Marcelo was great tonight. Marcelo is great. When we can get into an open court where he has space to make decisions, and he's got that great floater. That's where I think where he's at his best. And their unit did a good job of pushing that tempo and playing that style tonight.
Julius seemed to have a good game today. What do you think is the key for him to have these type of nights?
Not really sure. He's always better when he's being aggressive, but by aggressive I mean sprinting the lane. If he doesn't have it, rim running. If he does get the rebound, pushing it himself. I feel like that gets him engaged more in what we're doing. But I haven't figured out the difference in nights that he is doing that and nights that he's not doing that yet.
D'Angelo seemed to have a pretty consistent preseason. I think he led for you guys in points and assists. How have you seen him progress?
He's good. He's been obviously, doing a good job. I think he's continuing to try to develop that when do I pass, when do I shoot, game. And I think once that becomes more natural to him and he doesn't have to predetermine if he's going to shoot or pass, the whole game will just open up for him. He's too talented for it not to. And I think sometimes when you're trying to do the right thing instead of just playing, it can slow you down a little bit. But you got to give him a lot of credit for trying to play that way.
You were looking at the box score when you came out here. What stood out to you on there?
We gave up 36 free throws. I was happy that we held them under 100 points. That was nice. I think under 40% from the field shooting. But 36 free throws is too much. I think we had 24 turnovers. It's really hard to win a game in this league when the other team gets that many free throws and you give them that many extra possessions.
Why do you think your guys are still fouling that much?
I don't know.
When Tom Herman, the Houston coach, said you can motivate by fear or motivate by love. Obviously, he kisses his players, he motivates by love. What do you think of that? Just the philosophy.
I'm not going to kiss any of our guys, but I like leading by love with, but I had hippie parents, so that's to be expected. Yeah, I mean that's the way I was raised.
So how do you do that? Just with positive reinforcement?
No, it's positive reinforcement for sure. They're still holding them accountable. I don't think you're doing the ones you love any favor if you're not telling them what they need to hear and when they mess up. But I'm not a big fan of embarrassing people or screaming at them in front of people. If there's something I need to talk about You can do it in private. I mean, there's obviously going to be times when it needs to be done during a game, but for the most part, I try to stay away from that.
Did you have a coach that was like that, and you vowed not to be like that?
I did. I was very lucky. I never did. Lute Olson was not a yeller. He would let you know in private. Phil Jackson, no. Byron Scott wasn't a yeller. My high school coach wasn't a yeller, so it's probably why I love basketball so much.
Coach, could you talk about EJ's performance in the whole preseason?
He's been good. He's been our best shooting big we've had. He knocked down a big 3 tonight. He's big. He can defend. He can guard multiple positions. Been very professional, obviously. I'm sure he'd like to have played more minutes, but with a young team, we're trying to develop some guys and other guys that are veterans in the league. Took up a lot of those minutes, and he never complained once. He just kept showing up to work and playing hard and did a great job for us.
What did you think of Avisa in his first start?
I thought he was good. He looked a little nervous out there, but that's got to be a little expected. I mean, I think he's 19 as well, and he's starting for the LA Lakers. And he's only been in America for a few months, so that's got to be kind of, that's got to be a lot to handle for him. But I thought he did good. He had a nice little jump hook in the paint and started the second half with a free throw line jump shot that he knocked down. So I thought he was good. He looked a little out of shape in that third quarter. He looked like he was really winded by the time that timeout came. But he'll get better at that.